What's going on, friends? How we doing? I'm back. I'm here. And I'm eating breakfast. Sorry. Breakfast and coffee in my sort of like mostly kind of put together house. I apologize for how it may look. But I missed you guys. I am currently responding to a text. But hey, it feels good to be back. It feels good to be back a little bit. And what a perfect time. Because we just had Alien Earth drop. Alien Earth just dropped over on Hulu. And I'm currently we got a live going on TikTok, and I got a live here going on YouTube. We got YouTube, Twitch, and X. So we're gonna chat a little bit. So if I miss chats, I'm sorry, but I'm trying to do both at once. One on my phone, one here on my computer. But I just want to give you guys my thoughts on. I want to give you my thoughts on the show, and I don't know. Just go over stuff. I'm trying, as I've tried to talk about in recent months, is I'm doing my best to not be so hard-lined on the stances, especially surrounding entertainment. But I'm having trouble with Alien Earth because I think it drops the ball in a lot of ways. And I think overall, if I'm just going to like say if it's good or not, I'm just going to say right off the bat, it's not a good show. It's not a good show. And which sucks because I enjoy the franchise a lot. And as someone who enjoyed Alien Romulus, I know that's been a hot take among my friends here on the internet, but I enjoyed Alien Romulus and I thought it was good. I thought it was as nostalgia baity as it made it seem. It felt true and alive to the Alien like franchise. And now that I've seen Alien Earth, I just think like, what went wrong? Why did they think that this was a good installment, a good version, or a good direction to go? Even, Alien Earth was like, I felt like there was lots of potential here, and I think, and if I'm being fair, I still think that there is quite a bit of potential within Alien Earth to turn it around. But I think the overall tone of this show, like, it has like failed. It has failed the Alien test. Again, that's really unfortunate. Really unfortunate. Hello, everyone over on TikTok. I am both streaming here on TikTok and over on YouTube. I'm giving some takes about Alien Earth. It just dropped over on Hulu yesterday, and I don't know. I'm worried. I'm worried about where it's going. Tonally, it's off. It's a fairly like by tone, I mean both like lighting wise, like it's very bright. A lot of the elements of the show are quite bright. There's a lot of shots that feel like they're done from really far apart. Like a lot of times, like horror and all that is done like sort of close up. You don't know what to expect. And this totally does not this does the opposite. It like makes you feel like there's enough room, like you're not locked in, you're not claustrophobic. Are you saying that you're an alien by the prompt? Alien. What? No. I'm saying the TV show, Alien Earth, is not a good show. First 2 episodes, too slow and kind of boring. Hope it gets better. Yeah, it's not even that it was boring. It was like funny at times. Alien doesn't exist. There's never been a probe. Maybe. No. I don't know. I tend to think we're probably alone in most of the universe. But yeah, this new show, I think, totally misses the mark as far as the franchise go. And largely because there's funny elements to it, which I don't understand. And I'm watching the show right now. Nice, man. You should watch it. Everyone should give it a shot. But I'm telling you, this is the wrong direction to go in. And here, I'll start with the good things that may happen. We may really get a better look into how these companies compete with each other. And how those dynamics work into creating what we know in the Alien franchise. Yeah, it does feel that way a little bit. So what's going to happen according to you guys? I don't know who you guys are, but I don't know what's going to happen. I'll patiently wait and I'll watch the rest of the series. But what I've seen in the first 2 episodes has made me laugh and has made me question whether or not Noah Hawley has any idea of how to really capture the essence of the Alien franchise. Saw some kind of elongated craft object without wings reflecting the sun across the horizon. What planet are you from? I'm from Earth. I'm from Earth. Yeah, I don't know exactly where this show is going to go, but I hope and I pray that we will get something. What's wrong with it? Big booty Brandit. It's tonally totally off. Poor pacing. The weird flashbacks and the flash around, flash sideways things are really strange. They sort of take me out of it. Again, it doesn't feel dark enough. I was hyped too. I think the promotional material surrounding this show is beautiful. It looks really good, but how it was delivered on screen was totally off. It was not at all what I expected. Oh, LP. Oh God, dude, you're LP wants to join? LP, is this the real LP? The LP Longmire? Is he here? I can hear you now. Well, before you start, let me just say, I love your videos. I've commented on a few of your videos, and I think what you do is awesome for cinema and for television. And I really love the interviews that you've been able to do with the cast. So I respect your whole side of things. So I'm honored that you wanted to jump up here. So thank you, first of all. Yeah. 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 Yeah, that's how I felt. Like my jaw was like hanging open, and not for like good reasons. And I was just like, again, it was more a tonal thing. Like I thought that the show just didn't capture that, like, on the edge of your seat, like what's going to happen next. It felt like I could really feel what was going to happen next, and like the overuse of CGI. Like again, it took me out of the world a bit too much for a show that, in like a franchise that I feel like really hung in with practical effects for as long as it could. And like this was just like, I don't know. Like again, I'm trying not to bash it. I'm really trying to focus on what could happen in the show. Like I was about to say in my monologue, there was like, I would like to see more about the dynamics between these giant corporations, and maybe that will be the focal point of it. But we just got too much too quick, and then how it ended in the first episode, I was just like, okay. And then the second episode sort of took it to another level. Again, the pacing seemed off with a couple of the flashbacks, the flash sideways, or like the weird. Like I don't even know if it's like premonitions that we're seeing, like where the hallways are red. And do you know the scenes I'm talking about, where like it looks like an alien's like we're like the point of view of an alien, and the hallways are red and the lights are flashing, but it doesn't seem like that's happening currently. And Wendy is the one experiencing it. I don't know. It was very confusing. Mhm. Right. Yes. Yeah. Right. I did notice that part, like where they panned across the side, like to the back, and like they went into the airlock. Like I saw, like, oh, it looks like something like either blew out the side or there's some actual emergency in there. So like, what, like there, it could just be a crap ton of foreshadowing that eventually will pay off. It's just always one of those. It's a gamble, right? When you make a show like this, you hope that all this foreshadowing you do like pays off. And like I said, the first two episodes just it didn't hold me the way I wanted it to, and I found myself like laughing at certain parts, and I was like, this shouldn't happen in in this show. And again, it's just me. I know a lot of people are liking it, but I was honestly really curious as to where you sat with it, because I immediately after I was done watching it, I flipped open TikTok, and um, I saw like you were talking about it, and I could see almost in your eyes that it was not what you had expected. And I could be wrong. But it seemed like the fire that had built up through all the videos that you had made was somewhat like was lost. I don't know. Maybe you could elaborate. Right. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Yes. Yes. And I thought the initial reveal of it was like it looked kind of like you could tell it was a guy in a suit, and I was like, like this wasn't what I expected it to be. Again, it was like they led with like they wanted to rope you in with here's the xenomorph, like remember this thing, and then like, but it wasn't. Again, it just barely missed the mark, and but there are moments where it was like, oh my god, like okay, this thing is terrifying. But like they've done it, like I feel like Hollywood's done this a little bit with certain things. Like they've made certain things less I can't think of the right word, but like when Morrow like stuns it, I'm like, wait, what? Like now we can stun these things? It just felt like all of a sudden like this like a Deus Ex Machina, like, oh look, we got this thing now to subdue it. And then like and with that again was like another thing that I was like, bummer. Okay. But again, I'm gonna keep an open mind. Like maybe there's something to this, but that's good. Yeah. With the Alien franchise, it's tough to say. I like um Aliens was like the first one I remember like being truly terrified by. Um I I'm one of the few who has enjoyed, like out of the people I know, I actually enjoyed what they tried to do with Prometheus. Less so with Alien Covenant, but again, like through people like yourself and others, like I've really come to appreciate what they were attempting with David's story. And then like even Romulus was like, I felt was like much better than people give it credit for. But I mean, Aliens is really like, to me, like every time I think of an alien movie, that's what I go to, is like that was peak. Like that was like horror sci-fi. Like I felt terrified. Like I didn't want to go into a dark corridor, like anything, like that. No way. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. Oh, right. Yeah, I knew that I would capture some people in this. Never did I think that you would see it, but like it was like one of those things where I wanted to like bring forth like the things that I just didn't particularly care for here, but like I do think of the potential in this, and like I love the character of Wendy. I love the character of Morrow. Like I am really like excited to see how those characters develop, and like what their motivations are, especially because Morrow's a cyborg and not a synth. So like there's this like, yeah, like he as an actor, like that scene where everyone gets killed behind him and he's just standing there like sweating, like I believed the fear in his eyes. And the same thing with the character of Wendy. Like that actress is so good. Sorry, I don't know her name off the top of my head, but she is so good at conveying emotion like that. You can tell that she's conflicted, like between that human side of her that is still lingering in her, and then the synth part of her, where like the other Lost Boys are just, they're just children, like they don't have that same sort of like confliction in their mind, which is interesting. So I'm excited to see where that part of the show goes, but and that's where I'm confused about this whole show. Like, why? Like, we could have this whole story, but did it need to be called Alien? Could it have been something completely different? And then, like, sort of like, hey, surprise! It's actually set within this world of, of Weyland Yutani and all these other corporations in Alien. Does that make sense? So, mhm. Sure. Yeah. Yeah. Can I ask where you think this show will? Sorry, this is turning into like it's turned into like kind of an interview. But where do you think that this is like? Where do you think it all comes to a head? Where do you think we end with this? Do you think that they're going to just try and make this? And I don't know the details. Maybe you do, but like, is this going to be like a 8 episode and then done and then linked to something else, or do you think they're going to try and build on this and do multiple seasons on it? Whoa. Oh no. Yeah, see, that's not to interrupt you. That whole part right there, I actually forgot about that sequence, but I was actually fascinated by that whole like discussion because I thought like, oh, this is what Peter Weyland was going for in Prometheus. Like he was going to find immortality, and now we have a competing company discussing, or even like they've harnessed that immortality because even Wendy understands. Like she says, like I like, or when she's talking with Timothy Oliphant. Again, I can't remember his name in the show, but like Kirsch, like they're talking, and he's like, you can't save everyone, like whether it's by accident or by by design, like everyone dies. And she's like, no, like because even she knows, like I can't die. Like we now know that we can take a human consciousness and put it into something that can live forever, and that so that makes me think like this is about these corporations, and maybe Wayland Utani understands like what's like gets wind of this, and they becomes more of like a corpo war than it does, or like maybe that's the sort of side mission of the company. But like these are the parts that I liked about the show because I don't know. We will probably find out. Yeah, sure. Yeah. Yep. Mhm. Right. Yeah. Right. Well, also like how it was revealed that they were siblings felt like such a like kick in the balls. Like, oh, the other guy just like says it. Like, and like I thought this was gonna build over like an episode or like of them sort of like having this sort of like awkward chemistry between each other. And then all of a sudden the other guy is just like, oh yeah, it's your sister. And it's like, oh my, what? No, don't do that. And then it becomes a quiz for a couple lines. Like, and you're like, it's almost like you're meant to care in those like 5 minutes of them walking down the hallway and him asking questions. And I was just like, you had such, this is a missed opportunity here. And again, I always feel like I'm being picky in this situation, but I'm like, it can't just be me. Like, I can't be the only person that's seeing how like, um, how lazy this seems, so I don't know. Mhm. Right. Yeah. Hmm. Yeah. It is. Yeah. 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 His character, and even the rescue team in general, I'm like, well, it's like one of those things like I'm not believing this world, and I don't know why. Like there's like I don't I mean, yeah, there's a bunch of guys working out on a roof, and they all look kind of big, and we're kind of like get those space marine, or not space marine vibes, but the colonial marine vibes and all that. But like Joe just seems like, yeah, like why do I care about this guy other than it's our protagonist's like sibling, and they're trying to reconnect. Like they've already reconnected. They know who each other are. Now where do we go from there? Like it, it's all so like quick, like fast and rushed, and it's like we're told that we need to care about. As you said, we're being told like, okay, now you have to care about these guys, and that's disappointing because it makes the audience feel like we don't get it. Like the audience is smart. Like it's even if you're not like totally tuned into like all the ins and outs of like screenwriting and cinematography and all that, like people enjoy coming to their own conclusions and like drawing parallels to their own lives and relating to characters. But yeah, I'm still trying to figure out like what's so important about Joe other than being Wendy's brother and like how he's going to sort of fit into this whole thing. We just have a lot of like little threads that are just sort of like dangling, and I don't know like how they matter in the grand scheme. So, which hmm. Oh yeah. Hmm. Right. Yes. Yeah. I can see that, and I think it's totally fair. And again, like this is why like my initial gut feeling on this show is, as I said, it's not that good. But there's things that I want to dig into, and having you here is actually really nice because I know how you think like outside the box, and I know you think as a screenwriter. But like I can totally see that, and that would make total sense. And as I'm watching Curse throughout this whole thing. I mean, Timothy Oliphant has always been very robotic in how he moves anyway, and he does that like beautifully here. Like everywhere he walks, he's like super calm. He's not worried about anything. He very much like David and just sort of like going through the motions. Like he's human enough, but like the more you sort of like look at him and break him down, you're like, ooh, there's something off about this guy. He's just too comfortable. And you do see that he's like a hybrid, but like, or not a hybrid. You do see that he's a cyborg too, or at least that's the feeling that I got, is that I mean, he has tech. He jacks into that computer in the lab there, but but yeah, we don't know much more than that. That he just sort of leads the Lost Boys in this, with everything. But he's taking an interest, and we don't really know what his end game is. But I can see Morrow being like that sort of tragic hero or antagonist, where it's like it starts off looking bad, but then we'll realize like, oh, like he realizes what Wayland Yutani is really up to, or maybe he understands what Prodigy is really up to, and he's trying to take them out. So I like that. I think you could. Yeah. Mhm. Right. Hmm. Hmm. Um, yep. Y- If if this is a slow burn, like I see a lot of dissenters in the comments, and that's fine. Like it's mainly because it's mainly to spark discussion. I didn't expect LP to show up, guys, but like this is mainly to spark discussion in the sphere of this show. And like I just to recap for everyone, I just don't think it captures the spirit of a lot of the previous Alien films. And if it is something that where like Noah's trying to like slow burn this whole thing and bring us into something new, then again, I'm all for it. I keep a really open mind when it comes to movies and TV shows. We're only in the first 2 episodes of 8, so it's very possible that by the time episode 8 comes around, this is like my mind is totally changed on it. I'm happy to change my mind. And actually, one of the things I was going to bring up is like all of these different species of of extraterrestrials and aliens made me think of Scavenger's Reign. I don't know if you've watched that show. It seems like it'd be up your alley, but it reminded me of Scavenger's Reign in that like this like whole extraterrestrial world that had such crazy like flora and fauna that sort of like worked together, and like they could actually use, like they were able to like synthesize like certain fauna and flora to actually survive and fight back against it. Like some of it was super deadly, others were friendly. It's like I almost thought like maybe they're going that sort of angle where we're going to see like how they could use like actually use these things, and maybe they weren't all bad necessarily. But I mean that might be a reach, but it would be really cool to see how they all work symbiotically together. Yeah. My name's Tom. Yeah. Yeah, I would love to. Right on, man. I really appreciate you jumping in here. That's really great of you. Thanks, man. You too. See ya. Wow, guys, that was a great discussion. Is it rage bait? Not really. It's not rage bait. It's just me, like me thinking through things. And LP Longmire is someone who I actually really looked up to with the Alien franchise, and he has been like, he's so thorough and meticulous with his videos that like I'm just blown away that he jumped into this live. So thank you again, LP, for doing that. Everyone over on YouTube, sorry that I was ignoring you this whole time. I didn't mean to. I'm on TikTok, and I'm also here on YouTube as well. It's free to not post every thought in your head, especially about TV shows, brother. Yeah, I mean, I guess so. It's free to keep scrolling. I appreciate your interaction, though. That's good. Really nice of you. I don't hate every aspect of the show. I just thought, like, overall, if I was going to rate like what I saw was bad in a lot of ways. And I hope it gets better. I hope that over the course of the next 8 episodes that we see some better world building. I hope we see better pacing. And I hope that we build on characters and help like care about them. That's what I'm saying. And like the choices of like how they dealt with like the xenomorphs, like Morrow being able to stun the xenomorph was like, it was interesting. Like, okay, suddenly we can stun these things. Like we know enough about them. We know how to stun them because we couldn't do anything like up until this point. Nothing anywhere was capable of fighting back against them. And now we can. Not only can we stun them, but we can wrap them up in a bag and take them with us. But we can do that to the perfect organism. But when it came to stunning the brother, he just like laid down on the ground. He was still like conscious. Right. He was stunned longer than Hermit. Like that was one of those things where I was like, what? Come on. Like better than that. Like, again, it doesn't ruin the whole show for me, but it takes me out of like the whole experience. The whole experience. Because the previous films, even bad ones, like I think still kept a bit of like continuity, and with everything. Hermit was miscast. Yeah, he seemed a bit miscast. I mean, again, I don't know enough about him or care enough about him at this point to truly know, like who would have been good in that role. Gino probably was never stunned before, was just being a baby, maybe. Yeah, I think there's huge potential in this show to give us something different. The question is, like, will they deliver on that? You thought it was great? Awesome. I'm glad you enjoyed it, Zach. I'm not here to tell people what they should and shouldn't like. I just thought it was not good. That's all. Alien Mars, low-key better. Zach and Jody, dude, maybe. I think you might be right. No, people should. I think this show is like, I think people could watch this show. But I think you'll know exactly what I mean when you see like what's going on. I started off good, then just went silly. Bringing the Blade Runner universe into it would be great. Yeah, I said the same thing. I actually tweeted about this. Like, they have a really good opportunity here to bring in replicants. Like, I would love to see like replicants brought into this whole thing. But I don't know. No, I get you. I had things I felt that could have done better, but the TV adaptation on TV budget. Yeah, but that's the thing. I think like, if you can't truly do this right, then why do it? And I get to say to LP, but like, I almost think that the scale of this is what kind of threw it off. Like, they tried doing a sort of like a planetary scale, like they did with Prometheus, and Alien Covenant, but they just didn't have the budget behind it to like do these environments the way they should have. Like he said, I mean, that's the first thing I thought of. It felt like a CW show after the first like 15 or 20 minutes. I'm like, what? Like, what happened? It just looked like Alien and Aliens and, like the 1979 version. And now all of a sudden we're thrust into this like flat green screen, like, ugh. Synthetics are basically the same as replicants. Yeah, basically, yeah. But synths know that they're synths. Replicants don't know that they're replicants. That's like the biggest difference. Like replicants think that they're human. But I'll take what I can get, whatever gets the juice flowing for the franchise. Yeah, I mean, again, I'm not here to say that I want this show to fail. I don't. I want it to be good, and I'm hoping that somewhere along the lines that like in the next episode or two, like for me, it needs to really happen the next episode. Like episode 3 needs to be a banger. Like we really need to step up the next, we need to step up the next episode. Otherwise you're just going to lose people, I think. Ow. Ooh, stubbed my toe. The visuals aren't peak TV though, Christian. They're not. How do you feel about peak Prometheus? Like, there's SYBAU. I know what that means. Poncho, you can be upset if you want. It's okay. I want to know how they got the eggs. LP said that there was either promo material or other material that suggested that they had gone to LV-426 to pick up the ovomorphs. So that's probably how they got them. David 8 is the greatest written character in the entire. Yeah, David's awesome. I really hope that they close out David's story or bring him back. Send him to YouTube so I can ban him? No, we don't ban people. I'm not banning anyone. You predict it's going to get better. We'll see if it needed an actual show. Yeah, we'll see, man. We'll see if if we can actually get to a place that the show. They need to make a third. Yeah, I forget what the third film was supposed to be called. LP, of course, knows. Teddy Burr says, I was so disappointed. Yeah. What's up, Professor Savage Dad over on YouTube? I'm doing well, man. Things are good. It is 9:00 in the morning where I am, so I'm doing a TikTok stream and I'm doing a YouTube stream here, talking about Alien Earth and how it just it was a bad start. It was a very, very bad start. But what's really cool is that so out of this, we gained a brand new awesome follower. LP and I are hopefully going to talk about this next week, about the third episode next week. And I'm really, it's like one of the reasons I do this is like, I like to make connections with people, talk to people. Like people say like, oh, this is a rage bait headline, but guess what? It got someone to come in who's like a super fan and talk to me about it. We made the connection. We talked it out, and now we're going to be able to like talk on a live again. And what I'll do next time is I'll actually have him up here, or like maybe I'll go on his side of things, and so we can both be on camera. Waited so long for it to come out, I fell asleep mid-episode. The first time I started watching it, I did too, but it was just because I was really tired. Been really hyped for the show. Was it bad? It wasn't the best it could be, Sneed. It was not the best it could be, that's for sure. I just, I was just disappointed with where it went and how it started off. There's potential. There is potential. Like LP Longmire and I spoke about like the potentiality of this show and where we could find ourselves, and by the 8th episode. But also I often think that sometimes fandoms are a little bit better at planning out than the screenwriters. I don't know why, but hey, we're at 910 likes, guys. Let's see if we can get to 1,000 likes. And thank you for the rose. Whoever sent the rose, thank you for the rose. We got one rose today. I've never banned someone. Can we just do it for fun? No, we can't ban anyone. That's a shame to hear. I'll have to sit down. Watch it for yourself. Like, don't just listen to me over it. Like, don't just listen to me over it. Like, watch it for yourself and enjoy it if you can. Like, I don't want to take anyone's fun away. There's plenty of people who have come in here and told me that I'm a jerk for, for saying this. Have I seen all the movies? Yeah. Did they make the aliens gay? No. There's nothing gay about the aliens. No, they didn't. They didn't at all. It's actually a really well formulated show. There's good potential in this show. It was a decent show that struggled with a bit of an identity crisis. I actually did like Romulus. I'm one of the few people who liked Romulus, Mr. Phibbs. Thank you for the follow. Appreciate it. I mostly enjoy lo-fi sci-fi in the score. Yeah. It was a very, very interesting. Why exactly do you think it was? Don't you think it was good? Where 2 episodes and I thought it was set up well. I think they planted some seeds, but I don't know that I don't know if there's going to be the payoffs that people really want to see. Unfortunately, I'm not really doing guests at the moment. Sorry if I have that open. I'm not doing guests at the moment. Thanks though. They've planted a lot of seeds. They tonally, what a non-answer. Okay, Rasputin Core. Tonally, this show was way off from where the others have been. Tonally in the way of how the movie was, of how it was shot, lighting. Parts of it just looked like CW, and then other parts looked more authentic, we could have been in the Alien universe. And then there was other parts that just felt or the pacing was way off. We would find you'd be doing flash sideways, flash forwards, flashbacks, and where am I right now? I don't quite understand. There's a lot of potential here, but there's not a whole lot realized at the moment. For example, the show Lost. After the first episode, the first 2 episodes, you knew you were in for a wild ride. You knew this show was going somewhere, and you knew this was it. With this episode, with these first 2 episodes, there's nothing even close to that. Nothing even close to that. So you got confused, so it's not good. There was nothing confusing about it. No. I wasn't confused about anything. Definitely not. It's about SA and it's a comedy, bro. Missing the point. It's a metaphor. I understand that the original Aliens was written as that, but we're getting into something different now. Watched it last night. Was wrong with it. I just didn't like it. I didn't like the tone of the show. I had trouble connecting with the characters in the show. I had trouble finding the motivations of them. Why should I care about the dynamic between Wendy and her brother? Them sort of revealing who they are to each other was such a cop out. It was oh, that's your brother or that's your sister. And that was it. The kid walked away. Stuff like that. It was just lazy at times, it's too bad. There's such good lore built up behind it. And it seemed like they just sort of kind of tossed that aside. Crip Kid, you should watch it. I sure no, man. I'm actually excited to watch. I want to watch more of the show, Rasputin. I'll tell you, I am excited to watch the rest of it because I was talking with LP Longmire about this probably before you got here. I want to see if they go in the direction that I think they're going in. like I want to see this like corpo battle happen. You know, I don't necessarily like. I want the aliens and like the creatures that they have in containment in the lab to be sort of like tangential to like this war between these corporate companies, which, you know, when we are introduced to the alien world, like it's Weyland-Yutani that we are like that's who is like, that's who's like running things, right? But now you have like these five competing companies. And I want to see like, okay, like does one of them disappear? Does two of them disappear? Aliens are coming. Jesus Christ is coming. Repent. Get right, y'all. We're not talking about those aliens. What up, Sketch? Just finished watching the first 2 episodes. Yeah, man, it's okay. It's mid. I'm just gonna watch it, boss man. Maximus, you should watch it. By the way, I'm not telling anyone here you shouldn't watch the show. You should watch it if you're an Alien fan. You might get something out of it that I missed. I'm glad you thought it was amazing. I just did not. Alien is just Resident Evil. Things never change because the government does not hold the companies accountable. Yeah, man, it very well could be that. At least it's not Alien 3 or Resurrection. Yeah. But what I saw was mid, Cupcake. What I saw. It's not, it's, there's just lazy aspects of it is what it comes down to. Like, there's just lazy aspects to it. And things that, like when you're watching something and something happens that's like really jarring and it like pulls you out of that world, like, hey, I'm in a sci-fi world, and all of a sudden she goes, oh, what are these? And she starts playing with her boobs, and I'm just like, I mean, it's funny, but like, because she's a kid stuck in like an adult body, but like now it feels like I had a head-on collision and I went through the windshield, and now I'm like, okay, let's get back into sci-fi. Yeah, like that's what it felt like. Nothing will ever be worse than Alien Resurrection or AVP Requiem. Well, luckily AVP is not canon to everything. First, I mean, Mr. Doctor, that's you can certainly think that. I disagree. It's showing she's still funny, I guess. But is there a need to know that she's funny? I don't know. I don't think AVP 1 is canon. I think it's been said that both AVP movies are not canon. It seems like whatever they're doing now is actually canon, like with Alien Badlands. Or not Alien Predator Badlands, sorry. That'll be... They're all cash grabs. Nobody wants to make anything original anymore. I don't know. I think a lot of it can be. What don't you like about the show? I don't like about, I would say 51% of the show kind of like was odd and off-putting, and I couldn't quite understand some motivations. I couldn't quite care. I couldn't care about Wendy and her brother. Tonally, the show seemed really off. Like it was too bright in a lot of situations. It didn't seem like closed off enough. Like I didn't feel like I was like walking down an enclosed, like claustrophobic corridor. So, and like, I'm sure we're going to get more. Like a lot of this is just build up to the next thing, you know, but again, the first 2 episodes of a show should like absolutely hook you more than that show did. Like, again, I compare it to something like Lost, like a show like Lost, like hooked you in the first 2 episodes. Like there was no doubt, like I am watching this. I want to know what's going on in episode 3. I feel like in some regards, this episode 3 is going to lose some people because like, you know, we end on some like 90s alternative rock song, and you're like, wait a minute here. I did see the show, Mondam. Yeah, it came out yesterday. The Alien franchise has been giving a breath of fresh air due to the Romulus success. I'm one of the few who liked Romulus Cupcake. I really did. I liked Romulus. The alien human hybrid at the end was a bit wonky, but you know. Yo, Lodonis, what's up? Steve, yeah, I remember you. Yeah, dude. Good to see you, bro. Good to see you. Yeah, we got 73 people in here. Let's see if we can get a few taps and get over 1,000. Let's do this. Let's get over 1,000. We can do it. I appreciate everyone who showed up is showing up today and discussing and asking about this. So is it worth watching, or is it just completely junk? It's not completely junk. I think there's potential bumping, though. I think there's potential here, but like, you have to be patient. And I would not say to anyone to not watch a show. If you're interested in the Alien like franchise, go watch it. Go watch it and judge for yourself. I'm here to say that I did not like it, and I think so far, like, I think the first 2 episodes are bad. That doesn't mean the whole show is bad. Like, just the first 2 episodes. I didn't care for how it started. And even people like, I spoke with LP Longmire about this, who is if you know Alien, if you guys are here for Alien content, you know LP Longmire. Even he was in here talking with me about how, like, it was not what he expected, So I'm not the only one. Like, I might be new, you guys not know me, but like, I appreciate film, cinema, TV. I've watched it my whole life, and I really watch it. And my wife doesn't like how much like I focus on detail. But it needs more. It needs to really wow me in episode 3. I didn't mind Prometheus. I respect what they were trying to do with it. And honestly, from LP's videos, I appreciate it more just because of how deep he goes into like what they were doing. So like there's a lot, I think, that people misunderstand about Prometheus and Covenant. And I think the fact that we probably won't get the ending to David's story is going to do a lot of disservice to the overall story in general. How do you feel about the black goo being a big part of the recent movies? I think that's cool. I think the fact that they mentioned it in Romulus, that really made me think, oh, we are going to see the end of like David's story, or we're going to see more of it. The show is out already? It is. Yep. It is. Thanks for following, guys. Thanks for the follows today. Thanks for the likes. Prometheus started off well. Yeah, that's all I can say. Yeah. And again, there was aspects of Prometheus that I didn't like love either, but like, I thought some of the casting was weird. And I thought it was going to be a way to also blend the Blade Runner universe with Alien, because what's it called? Vickers in that show reminded me of like a replicant. Like, I thought we were going to start seeing like she doesn't know that she's a robot, but she certainly acts like one. AVP was not good. This was way better than that. Do you think all the specimens will be lost? That's a good question. Like, the containment of those specimens, like, I wonder about the containment of the specimens in this show. Like, the ship is like in pieces. It's inside of the building, which is like a giant, like, there's apartments and condos. It's nuts. Like, I how things haven't gotten out and started escaping is beyond me. It's okay, Deku. It's okay. It's not the best. I feel like the ancient French should rest. Yeah, I'm not sure. Like, Ridley Scott's is like executive producer on this stuff, so he must not hate it, isn't he? Like, don't listen to this wet blanket. Oh, you shouldn't listen. You should watch the show. You take what I say with a grain of salt. I'm not here to like tell people to not go watch it. I'm just telling you that it's not good, in my opinion. The first 2 episodes are not good. The new aliens, like Prometheus, Covenant, and Romulus. I liked Romulus. I thought that was really good. The Prometheus I liked much better than Alien Covenant, but you can watch it on Hulu. It's on Hulu right now, Giuseppe. Hulu it is. That's where you can find it. Dumpster fire. There's a lot of reasons I found it to be just kind of like tonally it was off. The characters aren't well developed yet. Like I don't really quite care to know much more. Like I don't know, like it's complicated. It's complicated in that like there's a lot of things that felt like they planted a lot of seeds. They hung a lot of threads out there, but I didn't really understand like what they were trying to do with those threads. And again, it's not like I'm such a dullard I don't know or understand. Like it was, what was the motivation to do this? Why do I care about their dynamic? Like the brother and the sister. What is their real attachment? How is that going to play into the larger narrative? No, hey, what was your name? Norm B. Wendy and Morrow are the best parts of this show. Wendy and Morrow are the best parts of the show. I'll tell you right now. Wendy is a great character. The actress that plays her, phenomenal. Is so good. Morrow, same thing. I believe every aspect of the he is like when he's standing in front of all those like dead bodies behind him and the aliens like just over his shoulder. It was fantastic. His like the sweat on his face. Like it truly amazing. Get some fun in your life. I'm having fun doing this. I'm glad you love the episodes. Definitely not hating to hate. I'm not one of those people. I actually had a long conversation with LP Longmire, who is a huge fan of the who was a huge fan of the series. He was just on here about 10 minutes ago. And I was telling him that I want to find the reasons it's good. In the first 2 episodes, I just thought that it was not good. I will continue to watch the show though. And I will continue to try and find the things I like about it as well. But I'm just being honest. I just don't think that these were this wasn't the starting block that this show needed. They needed something more. Yeah, and honestly, Mike, I think in some ways that's bad. Like I wish they had criticisms not equate to hate. Yeah, exactly. I don't hate the show. I have my criticisms of it. What do I think of the aliens in the show? I thought that the xenomorph at times looked really good, and I think at other times it looked horrible. I think there's a little bit too much CGI with some of the other aliens in there, like the eyeball thing. Like I thought looked terrible with like the cat. I'm just being honest. I just thought that looked horrible. I'm sorry. Why do the male characters feel so emasculated? I don't think they did. I don't think they did. The cat broke your heart. It was whatever, man. Like they better not be on the ship for more than 3 episodes. Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens. Like I don't know. It's tough to say where this is going. Again, if you're asking me like where I think this show might go, I think we're going to see a huge, like a lot of intercorporation like fighting. I think that's where a lot of this is going to come go to. And like their ideals sort of fighting with each other. And again, one of the things that I'll tell you something I really like about it, McNug, I'm not hating. I'll tell you one of the things I really liked about this, and I told this to LP. The conversation that the CEO of Prodigy has with God, I forget her. Basically, they're discussing like the idea of like immortality and how people are like they basically found a way to like for immortality. And this conversation related directly to Peter Whalen's conversation in Prometheus about how that's like why he was seeking out the engineers in general. And I thought, wow, what a great corollary to draw. You know, it was storytelling, like it was a show don't tell type of a moment where like you could connect the 2 movies in like a kind of a loose way. And I wonder if that's going to play a part in general. JB, 2 episodes. Yeah, man, this is my critique of the first 2 episodes. Critique, not like this isn't set in stone. Like my mind might change by the time this is all done. Once we get to episode 8 and it wraps, the first season wraps, we'll see how I feel. I think LP and I are going to do, we're going to talk after the 3rd episode next week. And like I said, if you guys are here watching this, I'm sure you guys are aware of LP Longmire. He does a lot of videos about the alien universe. So like, just be aware, like I'm being open-minded about this. You could totally change my mind on all of this. What was not good to you? Man, I don't know if I can go through everything again. Not set in stone, correct. It's set in Ariel Wolf. Prometheus is fire. I wouldn't quite call it fire, but it's pretty good. It's 2 episodes in. It is, you're right. The set builds in these episodes must have cost a lot of money. Probably. There's a lot of CW like cinematography in the first episode, which is kind of a bummer. Which again, I understand it's for TV, so you should watch it still. Boo boo, you're a hater. No, man, I'm critical. I'm very, very critical of this, but I want it to be good. There's some good CW shows. It's not crazy. Thoughts on Romulus? I liked Romulus. I was one of the few people I know who really liked it. That's good, Matt. I'm glad you enjoy it. I mean, one scene that looked like CW, when they first get to the crash site, and Hermit is getting out with the rescue team. There's like some trucks going by, and there's like a single tent. Like you can tell they're standing, like the tent is real and the truck is probably real, but like that whole scene is like green screened, and like that truck is like made of plastic. It was very, very like CW. And there's a few shots on the inside of the ship that it made me think, oh man, like they could have done better. I'm not hating. I'm being critical of it. There's a big difference. Hey, I'm glad that everyone's enjoying the show so far. Like more power to everyone who's enjoying the show. I'm just giving my particular take on it. And that might change over the course of the show. I think it's a little slow. I think at times there's some odd dialogue choices, some odd interactions that we see. Your title's literally saying it's not good because I don't think the first 2 episodes are good, Iris. I don't think the first 2 episodes are good. But I will continue watching it because I'm not someone who's just going to stop because of the first 2 episodes. There's a lot more. My thoughts on Romulus. I liked Romulus a lot. I thought it really captured the essence of the original 2 movies. And it was sort of a great way to tie in that like nostalgic feel of like the 1979 film with the newer concepts of like the black goo and like a lot of the direction that I think that Alien Covenant was going with David's story in a way to sort of tie them together. The plot is obviously where it's going. You're not going to say, hey, that's fine. Hey, you might have it all figured out. That's really good. Rage bait, then you should probably go. If you put rage bait into the comments, you're just like furthering the algorithm. Like you're better off just scrolling past if you think it's rage bait. The elevator scene was pretty dope. Really? Ooh, I disagree respectfully. I didn't think it was. Yeah. What do you think about the amount of quick speed kills by the alien? That was interesting. Like when it ran into the the party there, and like it seemed like it killed everyone in like 10 seconds. That was interesting. So another part of that whole sequence was the fact that Morrow stunned it, and then Morrow stuns Hermit, but it doesn't, like, Hermit is stunned for less of a time than, like, he completely stuns the alien, and then Hermit is like stunned, like, just kind of. Oh, and then he wraps it up in a bag. Yes, I did start it. Or was it wrong? It was great. I'm glad you think that. Were there two androids? The guy in the beginning looked like an android. Morrow is a cyborg, so he is human with like implants, like he has like cybernetic implants. And then Wendy is a synthetic. Wendy and the Lost Boys are. Oh, it started yesterday. User basing a whole series of the two. I'm not basing it on. The whole series might end up being good, but as of right now, I don't think so. It goes against basic lore. The aliens didn't kill; they used humans for reproduction. I was actually honestly like waiting for them. Like I was wondering why we weren't getting them like put up somewhere in front. Like, why wasn't he dragging them back to where the eggs were to get them ready? You know, like did the alien just not know where they were? It's obviously a more feral xeno. I don't think it's obvious. Like, you know, like what? Like if you were going to change up what it was, I mean, I guess it could totally be that. It could totally be that, but I don't know if it's necessarily obvious. Like they're just killing to kill. The alien universe hurts my head. Yeah. Thoughts on Prometheus? I liked it. I like Prometheus. I liked it. I think it's flawed in some ways, but yeah. There's a lot of plot holes, but I've seen enough to keep me watching for now. Yeah, like I don't think this show is great, but I think that there's enough happening where I'm like, okay, I'm interested. And what is interesting to me about this is not what I thought it would be. Wendy and Morrow are the most interesting parts of this show. And I want to know more about them. I want to know where their story is going, and I want to know like how it's going to keep developing. They are such good characters. There's 6 episodes left, SCB. You're totally right. But the first 2 episodes I thought were lackluster. But there's enough in there to keep me going because I like movies. I like cinema, I like TV. Like I know that this isn't done. I think next episode's a week from, so next Tuesday. Linda, I was so disappointed. Yeah, it's like such a clickbait title. I just think that the show so far is not good. Like I don't, there's nothing crazy about what I'm saying here. A Sigourney Weaver cameo. Well, she would be de-aged. And she's like, she's in the middle of space right now. You won't get that. This takes place in 2120, so she's nowhere near Earth. Wait until Weyland-Yutani sent their strike team. Dope. Yeah, maybe. Thank you guys for the follows today. We got 2.3K likes. I appreciate the likes on the live. And 116 people hanging out. I appreciate everyone who's like, I've seen people share the live. That's really nice of you. But yeah, I'm just here telling you, like, I just think so far the show, it didn't live up to my expectations in the first 2 episodes. It might change over the course of the show. I have a very open mind when it comes to TV shows. It takes a lot for me to stop watching a show. It does have room to grow. I think there's a lot of potentiality in it. There's a lot of things in here that could pan out. A lot of threads that the showrunners can like tug on. Oh my God, I hated The Acolyte. These nuts. Are you kidding? I hated it. I couldn't finish. That's one that I could not finish. I got to the second to last episode and I stopped. The Acolyte was awful. I'm sorry. The spaceship crashing wasn't enough. It just started. No, I mean it wasn't enough. Like, yeah, it looked kind of cool, but like even that just wasn't like, oh my God. I agree the show is shit. Yeah, I mean, it could get better. I couldn't stand it. The cruelty to animals they was doing is not for me. Yeah. Well, I mean, the thing is too is like animals have always been used in like scientific study. That's just what happens. Favorite Star Wars movie? You cannot mention sequels. I think as a kid, the Return of the Jedi was my favorite movie, and then but I think if I were to like when I think of like the Star Wars, I think Empire Strikes Back is just like I know that's like just pure cinema. Is this title just rage bait? No. I believe that the first 2 episodes of this show are not good. You're wrong is great. Hey, you know what? You're entitled to your opinion, just as I am. It's only 2 episodes. Why are you speaking about it as if it was objectively bad? I think the first 2 episodes are objectively like not good. They are very flawed in a lot of ways, but that doesn't mean the show can't be redeemed. That's about all I can say on that. Hey, Jared, watch them. You should watch it still. Please watch it. I'm not. Don't think that what I'm saying is don't go watch the show. I think people should watch it and judge for themselves. See, I thought that I like the idea of the eyeball monster, but it looked bad. Damn, this is how I found out about the show. Don't not watch it because of me. Go watch it and try it. Try it out. There's lots of people who liked it in the comments, and there's lots of people who have said they agree that it wasn't that good. But people should find out for themselves. Don't know how I feel about the premonition cut inserts. It's jolt. Yeah, like those are the things that I'm like trying to figure out. Like, what is this? And like, we'll find out more about those in like subsequent episodes. Like I was talking to LP Longmire about that earlier, and I think it just requires time. And Noah Hawley, like, if you know his work, you probably like it. Like Fargo was really good. I didn't watch Legion, but I've heard people say they really like it. Yeah, Clay Thompson. Yeah. Way too many flash forwards and flashbacks, jarring edit. Yeah, the editing was weird. It was weird pacing, very odd pacing, which again was not something I cared for. It is a new story. I like the fact that they're trying something new. That is good. But so my opinion, like if I were to like fix this, I would remove the title of Alien Earth and I would title it something else. I don't know what that title would be, but I wouldn't initially tie it to the Alien universe. And I would like in some of the final episodes, I would pull that alien thread all the way through and be like, this is where we are. And like reveal like a xenomorph or an egg or something like that. Like have like these other things. And then like now it's tied. IMDb gives it 8.4. That's actually down from 8.7, which was what it was last night. So looks like it's going down. No, I was surprised as well. Bro wants Prometheus the show. I would like more David. Yeah. I would like more David. He was a very well-written character, and Michael Fassbender is one of the best actors of our time, I think. Wait, wasn't it been like 2 episodes? Yep, it's been 2 episodes. Those 2 episodes I thought were bad. Can I ask why it's not good? I've said it a bunch, but I just think tonally it was really off. There was some really poor editing choices in my opinion. The character motivations and like the show like wants you to care for characters, but like it doesn't, like there's no reason to, and like so the writing is a bit off at times. I felt, I don't know, it's there's a bunch of reason. I'm going to give it a chance, SCB. I really am. I'm for sure going to give this show a chance. Like I was blown away today by the fact that LP Longmire, like the godfather of alien lore on TikTok, like requested to be on my live, and I got to speak with him for about 15 or 20 minutes. That to me, like, it blew me away. I felt totally, it was such a humble moment. And we're going to try and talk about that next. We're going to try and talk about episode 3 next week. So we're going to do a live just like this and kind of break down what we thought. I just saw they're making Project Hail Mary, a movie next year. If you're a sci-fi dork, you'd like it. I've read Project Hail Mary twice. Thank you for the gift. Thank you for the money gun. Appreciate it, SCB. Yeah, I've read Project Hail Mary twice. It's probably one of my favorite sci-fi novels. I'm upset that they kind of spoiled the story a little bit, but like, if you know, you know. But yeah, like, again, yeah. And actually, after reading the book for a second time, I realized that Ryan Gosling is the perfect character or perfect actor for that character. It's going to be good, because I was unsure at first too. It's unfair, I think, to put this type of movie and series into episodic kind of thing. No, I disagree. I think that Alien, I do think that having an Alien show is smart, but I think how they started, I think they just stumbled in the starting blocks is all. How can you judge something with 2 episodes out? Because I think how you start something, like first impressions, are a big deal, Garrett. I think first impressions are a big deal. And I think the first impressions here, at least from me, from a big sci-fi point of view, sci-fi fan, like, it stumbled out of the blocks. It did. And again, I love I love Morrow. I love Wendy. I think those 2 characters are the most compelling in the series, but like, so far. But, you know, they're really trying to lean on the aliens a lot. Like, I want to know more about Wendy. I'll keep watching. We might get something revolutionary and great. Like I said, Noah Hawley's past work has been really good, but, you know, I wanted to see something different in the first 2 episodes. Can you tell us what you didn't like or why it isn't good? Yeah, I thought it was slowly paced. I thought the tone was off. It didn't feel like earlier Alien installments. Like, again, the tone being like, there's a lot of like kind of brightly lit environments. The everything was like too wide angled. Like, there wasn't, like, it never felt claustrophobic. You know, like there were shots that felt very, it was just too CGI heavy. The CGI looked bad. It didn't look convincing or good. That sort of ripped me out of the world. It was like getting into it. It was like going through the windshield of a car, like on a joyride. We're often told to care about like characters. The way they developed was odd. I know it's a TV show. Like when they reveal to, like, when the other synth reveals to Wendy and Hermit that they're siblings, like in the hallway, it was like, seemed like such a throwaway line. I'm like, what just happened? Like drag this out over an episode. Like, let there be a little bit of tension, or like maybe she says something, or like maybe she doesn't want to say something right away, and like he starts like catching like familiar like whispers of her, you know, like that to me would have been a little bit more compelling than just like him saying it as a throwaway line. It's a TV show. What you expect they should stick to the movies? No, I think there's a way to honor like the legacy a bit of these movies and respect like where the movies have been, you know. I don't think this show did that at all, unfortunately. I think it did it in some small parts, but you know, I think it lost its way just a bit. But again, it's only 2 episodes. I get that. But I think episode 3 has a lot of heavy lifting to do. Oh, they shouldn't have made a show, in my opinion. Yeah, I'm actually a really big believer. I I'm a very big believer in that. Like some stories just need to end. One of the issues I find of like Star Wars, for example, like we don't need all the in between stories. Like it's totally fine to tell like 3 or 6 movies and then call it good. Like I think Hollywood is like truly obsessed with like telling every little bit of a story, whether it's because like they think the audience wants to see it all or because of it for like money. Like I think people are totally okay with like stories ending. Can you be my uncle? No, sorry. I'm really glad that people like the show. I am. Because I liked Romulus, and I know a lot of people hated Romulus, and I liked Prometheus, and I know a lot of people hated Prometheus. So I've been on both sides of this, and I truly like. No, go away. I truly don't know where I'll stand at the end of episode 8. We are the aliens, all of us. Maybe. There's 2 episodes out, bruh. And because I can look at both episodes, side by side. I can donate on Twitch. Please be my uncle. I want to have 6 uncles. Learning everything in sci-fi series versus learning everything in fantasy series, I feel is different. Yeah. I don't get what. Yeah, I thought the synths were like the synth stories, Wendy's story, and again Morrow's story are the most interesting part of this. And maybe this is where it will be centrally located, and perhaps the aliens will be just sort of tangential to that, like sort of like in the way of everything. Who knows? But I thought the xenomorph at some points just didn't look that good. You could tell it was like a person wearing the Peter Pan metaphor feels control. Yeah, it was a bit heavy at times, Norm. It was a bit heavy at times, and I didn't really understand like why it was going there. I mean, kind of, but I mean, it makes sense in that like, the synths, like they don't age, right? They're not. They're children forever. They took children, put them into adult bodies that won't age or die. They're essentially immortal. Which again, I would like to see where they're really going with it all, but Fear, watch it yourself. Watch it for yourself. You might like it. I personally did not like the first 2 episodes, but I will continue to watch the show, and by the end of it, we might have something great on our hands. Who knows? Who knows? Am I wrong for liking that they looked like that? It felt like the first movie seeing them like that. No. Again, I'm not here to like judge how other people like movies. Like this is just my take on the movie. I'm not saying that you can't enjoy it. If you like how the alien moved and walked and ran, great. But I personally saw the flaws in it like immediately. And then I saw like how it looked great in other parts. That's all. How does it compare to Romulus? I really liked Romulus. I really liked Romulus. I like how they sort of tied that to Covenant and Prometheus with the black goo. Like there was that sort of like loose connection. So I hope with like Romulus 2 that we get that thread pulled on a little bit more. We'll see if that happens. But the only thing I didn't quite care for in Romulus was the alien human hybrid. It was certainly like fucking like Slender Man, like terrifying, but like it just didn't look great. Like when I saw it, I was just like, But it's to each their own on a lot of this stuff, man. And I want people to watch the show and judge for themselves. Can you come to my birthday, Uncle? I will have cakes. No. Whoa. How did you get on here? Oh, I didn't mean to invite you up, so I'm just going to drop you down. Okay. Sorry, Alex. Thanks, man. Appreciate it. Yeah. Can Alex be my uncle too? Yeah, he can be your uncle. Maybe he can be your uncle. I can't be your uncle. I'm sorry. Is Alien Earth supposed to be before the movies? Because we already know Wayland wins. So this takes place 2 years before Alien, the first Alien. 2 episodes in and already saying it's not good. This is what's wrong with reviewers. I'm saying the first 2 episodes aren't good. I didn't say the whole series is now like bad. So there's a different. You can actually it's interesting. Like there's a way to hold 2 thoughts in your head at one time, and that is you can watch something, be critical of it, but also be willing to be open-minded to the fact that the rest of the episodes could be good. You know, it's weird. It's a concept that's foreign to a lot of people nowadays because they just feel they need to be right. Very tripping. It's how they made androids, and they're carrying people. There's always one android. Well, there's several synths in this one, or the androids, and there is a cyborg now. There's cyborgs which are humans, and which have like, augments to them, and then there are what are the 3? Cyborgs, synths, and then hybrids. Hybrids are they download the consciousness of the human into the synth. Then there's the synth, which is just the android, and then there's the cyborg. So yeah. He's rage baiting. Are you guys new here? This isn't a rage bait, bro. But you are falling for it for commenting. I work full time, actually. Today's my day off. I work a lot. This is actually the first time I've done a live about like a show. It's funny that people are asking me to get a job. Kung Fu Hustle is better than the Alien series. This is the truest statement that's been said the whole time. The whole time. Y'all don't know anything. Kung Fu Hustle is better than the entire Alien franchise. No, this is definitely not rage bait. This is just a discussion, my thoughts on the first 2 episodes. Look like I can be an actor? I don't know. I don't think so. You were capping. You for sure liked the 2 episodes. I didn't. I was laughing, actually. The second episode, I was laughing for like the last probably 15 minutes or so. Like I was like blown away of what was happening. I was blown away that Zeph, Chris, the first 2 episodes are not good. I couldn't believe the fact that he stunned the thing and then wrapped it up in a bag. I just thought, oh boy, really? And the whole cat scene with the eye, I was just like, oh, this looks ridiculous. And then they threw like a half sheet pan, like over the alien octopus eye for a second, and it didn't escape, even though that like adult person was holding it back with all of their might. It couldn't escape out from underneath the pan. What? It was funny. I wasn't even mad at it. It was funny to watch. It was just funny. I want to see Weapons because I've heard that Weapons was actually good. I enjoy a lot of things. There were aspects of the show I enjoyed, Clinton. There was definitely aspects that I enjoyed, but I thought overall it was not good. I hope episode 3 turns it around. And I'm not the only one who feels this way. Like there's prominent voices in the alien community who think that this just wasn't what could have been, you know? Where can I watch the show you made, the critic guy? The show is you should. I mean, I'm glad you like it. I'm glad you like it. I'm glad people are enjoying it. Like, I think people, it makes me happy that people are enjoying media and not just hating it. You know, I'm not just being like, there's aspects that I think are good about this show. There was moments where I thought, okay, that was good. Like, that was good dialogue. That's good character building. And then but like, if 51% of it is bad, it's not good. That's just all. Alex, no, it's just the first 2 episodes. Best part was the guy hanging off the alien's face, spinning and yeah, that was kind of funny too. I wish they made a movie. Show is great. This guy is rage baiting. Dude needs attention, apparently. Nope. I don't need anyone. I don't need any interaction. I'm giving my opinion on it. But as long as it isn't because it has black actors. What? How does race have anything to do with this? But the children's cyborgs are supposed to be strong. No, of course. No. My point was that they were holding it back, and it was so strong that they had to like force it back. And then when she threw it on the table, and all they did was like throw the pan over it, it didn't like move. It just like, it didn't try to escape from that. So that's where I thought like, oh, like that's how easy it was to trap it. It was just, that was funny to me. I wasn't angry. It was funny. You can feel it's heading in the wrong direction, but don't think it's a little early. No, I don't know what direction it's heading in, honestly. There's some foreshadowing in here that like they can go a lot of different ways with it. So I hope that they do something. Like, I hope they go the way that I want it to go, but I don't. The first 2 episodes just seemed like they had like a really good like starting block, and then they just stumbled out of it. Like they couldn't quite get their footing. There's potential in the new alien species as well. Like I was thinking of like Scavenger's Reign. Like I think that Scavenger's Reign, like the way they do their whole like flora and fauna ecosystem, like there's a big potential for them to sort of do that here in this show, where we see how these creatures like almost work in symbiosis. You know, you've never covered a bird cage with a sheet. Sometimes you can sedate something by blocking its vision, so I'll let that one slide. Plus, it was a 9-year-old girl trying to fight it off. So yeah, no, E. Clay Thompson, that could be. You know, that's fair. Yeah, Scavengers was a really great show. Could be on meteorites. It could be like microorganisms. I'm more interested in the aspect of aliens, not so much the robotics or synthetics. See, I'm the opposite. Like, I hope that the aliens are just tangential and like sort of like on the fringe of these corporations like battling each other. Like that's more of the direction I would want to see this go in like them using these like bioweapons against each other at some point. And like maybe Prodigy losing out on the whole thing. Thoughts on Boy Cavalier? He had a couple of good moments. Like his discussion about immortality was like, I thought one of the best parts of dialogue, and I thought it was a really good like callback to Peter Weyland and his fight and like search for immortality. So, and then also Wendy's realization that she could save her brother, and Kirsch thinking that like, oh, you know, you can't escape death. And then Wendy realizing, oh no, you can. Like that was one of the better parts of the show. So there are some decent parts. Like Boy Cavalier was halfway decent at times. And I did think he had some good moments, but his thoughts on climbing a mountain and taking to a genius and talking to a genius mind. Thank you for the follows, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you. Watch it for yourself, Damien. Watch it for yourself. it wasn't what I thought it was going to be. I thought through all the promotional material and trailers that it was going to be something different. Tyler, no, they're only the first two. I finished the first 2 episodes, which are all that's out right now. I thought the first 2 episodes were not very good, Zachary, but you should watch it for yourself and judge for yourself. We'll be having more discussions like this week after week with each new episode. So there's 8 episodes in total. So that means we got 6 more to talk about. 8 episodes total. And it's on Hulu. Yeah. Yeah, Jimmy. See, like it was just, I'm not the only one. I know people really liked it and I know people didn't. People should, if you like the show, you like it. And that's totally awesome. It is a little of both. The pacing was odd at times. Some of the writing was just not particularly well done. It sort of like took me out of the story. Yeah, there's only 2 episodes. And those 2 episodes I just didn't think were good. And again, I'm not saying like it gets a 0 out of 100. I'm saying that like 52% bad. Like if we're going to use the Rotten Tomato, like 52% rotten, like only 49% fresh. So like we're like really like it's just somewhere in the middle, and I'm just kind of bummed. I had higher expectations, and maybe that's my fault. Too much of talking about nothing, I suppose. Swipe on up then, brother. Sure, there's someone else talking about something. I tried to watch it, but it just didn't get there. Yeah. My expectations were, I guess, I just expected more suspense. I expected a little bit more, like, I don't know. I guess I expected more of, like, somewhere between, like, Prometheus and, like, Romulus, where, like, we were still, like, we're trying to figure out, like, who these, like, what these things are. And now we're bringing these companies in, but the ship has crash landed on Earth. So how does this actually fit into the alien narrative? Like we're probably going to get there, but my expectation was a much darker feel for the show, and it's not. It's just not that. It's not. It doesn't have the dark that I was hoping for. Yes, it's 2 years prior. What did I find positive? I thought Morrow was a great character. I thought that Wendy was a great character. The ideas of immortality and Prodigy having the ability to download human consciousness and upload it into a synth is great. The moral ramifications to that are terrifying. Timothy Olyphant makes me really uncomfortable, and that's either a really good thing or a really bad thing. I can't quite figure out if the character he's playing is good or bad. That's kind of where I'm at with the show. And I hope, and we've only seen a small window of Yutani, so we'll see. I hate Boy Genius, wrong actor. Yeah, I actually thought that too. I like the character and the dialogue he's had, but the actor playing him seems miscast. So, I didn't think it was scary, no. I was laughing at a few parts that I think were meant to be scary, but that was it. It's been 2 episodes, good Lord. Yeah. I think it's totally fine to judge like I could definitely look at the first 2 episodes of any show, and if it doesn't like capture me, like that to me could be a red flag. It doesn't mean overall that that it totally destroys the show, but it could be that later on, it could be that 3, 4, 5, 6, and 7, 8 are much better. Totally. We'll see. The whole story is 8 episodes. Do you write a review of a movie after 30 minutes? No, but people review individual episodes all the time. So I'm not sure your point here.
I think the reviews are a little too high so far. Yeah, I think this show is like a 6.5 at best. At best, right now. 6.5. I would not rate it that, but I think that would be a fair look at the show 2 episodes in. I mean, I think that's totally fair. That's not that. I mean, when you think about it, that's actually positive in like the grand scheme of things. I'm loving it. How is it so low for you? There's just too many parts of it that I find disappointing and lazy. I did like Romulus. Like that is the feel that I like. Romulus at a lot of points was terrifying, like genuinely scary at parts. This show was not. Yet, let me say. Because again, for some reason, people can't hold 2 thoughts in their head. Like someone could be critical of a show, but also be open-minded and willing enough to continue to watch and perhaps change their mind. That, I mean, doesn't surprise me this day and age. It's definitely not for no reason. I think that the first 2 episodes fell short of expectations. Definitely for me. And again, this is my live, so not that surprising. But again, I'm glad that you enjoyed it. I'm glad people are enjoying it. I don't think they're that good. I was grinning the whole time. Yeah, episode 2, I was like laughing at a few parts. So you haven't seen? I watched the first 2 episodes. Yeah. Yeah, bro, you watched the original movies? I didn't. No, I probably didn't see them until I was born in 85, so there's no good. There's no way. You can't really judge a show by the first 2 episodes. No, but I think the first 2 episodes, like, I'm trying to think of how to formulate this. Like, it happens a lot, like with things. It's perfect. Oof. I wouldn't say perfect. It's just out of the stumbling blocks, like out of the starting blocks, the show stumbled is all. No, I hated The Acolyte. I thought it was poor, lazy writing. I thought it disrespected some of the Star Wars canon and lore in general. I thought some parts of it were like, there's some pretty cool cinematography, but I just thought it was, I don't know. It wasn't definitely my cup of tea. Why do I have to direct something to have an opinion on it? What have you written? I have a few things that I've written. I mean, I have a few things that I've written, like here, a few stories. I have a couple of screenplays I've written. Mm-hmm. How does it stumble for you? I just think it's too slow to start, and like how the second episode ends with Hermit getting like pulled over the edge, or like, tackled over the edge by the xenomorph. And then it like kind of cuts to this like 90s alternative music. I thought it was like, again, it was like going through the windshield of a moving car. It was like, what? Like, where are we? Like it didn't seem to fit. It didn't seem to fit. I know it's the first 2 episodes. You seem to be more upset about it than me. I'm merely just saying I just don't think it's good. Those 2 episodes are not good. The episode 3 might come out and I might change my tune. I might say, oh, Alien Earth is decent now. We'll see. No, I actually haven't seen Legion. I watched Fargo. I really like Fargo. But yeah, I haven't watched Legion. Yeah. I want to watch it. I'm not going to bring any guests up. I appreciate you asking to be in, but I'm not going to bring anyone up. I feel like you're going to say no. I don't know. Maybe. I enjoyed Romulus. Legion is good up in the last season, still good, but falls off by then. It's not good. It's fantastic. I'm glad you like it. I'm glad that people enjoy it. Jim Jam, you should watch it. Alien Earth is just new tech powered by AI. Our government getting ready to whoop on unwanted. Yeah, maybe. I'm glad people like it. I'm glad people are enjoying it. The Xeno is perfect. I disagree. And again, I thought the fact that like the perfect organism, like was taken down by a glorified taser. That was kind of interesting. I don't hate it. I just said it's not good. Those episodes are not good. I don't hate it, but those episodes are not good. There's potential. So again, you can hold two thoughts in your head. You can say something is not good, but also recognize the potential in something, which could lead to the series being good. Boom, bam. That makes sense? But hey, we hit 5K likes. I really appreciate everyone being here. We got 67 people. We've topped out at like 133. You guys have been awesome today. Really appreciate it. If you're not, think about hitting the follow button. We're going to be talking more about Alien Earth over the next several weeks. We're going to talk with LP Longmire about it. He stopped in here today to discuss things. You guys have been really nice and understanding. You guys are really good. Again, I'm very open-minded when it comes to movies and TV. No, I'm not. No, because I don't just judge off of the first two. I think the first two episodes are not good, but I will continue watching it because I do think that there's potential in it. Appreciate you guys. You guys are awesome. Like I said, think about following. We'll see you guys in our next live stream. Holy moly. We had like 100 people on that TikTok live stream. That was awesome. Like 3K views. We got 2 gifters, 22 new followers on that. And yeah, there's a lot. That's good. That was a lot. And what was so good about that is the fact that hold on. Yeah, thanks, King. No, that was good. And so just to give you guys a little I really apologize that I wasn't paying attention to you guys all that much. But so I follow a guy on TikTok. His name is LP Longmire. He does a lot of Alien franchise, like lore dumps and analytics. And he was actually invited. He was invited to San Diego Comic-Con to view for a special viewing of the first episode. And so he had already seen it before everyone else had seen it. And I remember seeing, there was a couple of clips that came out recently, and he was like, you could just see like in his face that, and like by the tone of his voice, that this was not the show he thought it was going to be. And he had requested to come up and talk with me in that live, and it really kind of kickstarted everything. So I was just like blown away. Like, this is a dude I respect because I like his content, and he puts out a lot. And so, and I think he followed. I should check, but he said, yeah, like I'll follow you back, and we'll, after the next episode, we'll get together and we'll discuss this. Let's see. Did he follow me back? He did. Oh my God. He followed me. Yeah, dude's hella cool. But yeah, dude, it's fun. I'm here in my house. I finally got a kitchen table, like a dining room table, so I'm like able to like sit here and do stuff. So again, I apologize that you guys couldn't hear the other end of that conversation. I felt really bad, but I know a lot of you guys are on TikTok, so it doesn't even matter. I couldn't even like direct you over there to listen. But it makes all the difference when people interact like on TikTok, it keeps shooting it out to people as like, hey, check this out because this person's getting a lot of interactions or likes or shares or whatever in that. But we had like 130 at one point, which is the most I've ever had on any live over there. Like normally it's like 10 at most. So, but everyone's getting so mad, like, oh, this is rage bait. This is rage bait. How would you not like this after 2 episodes? And like, because it's not that deep, first of all, but like, because like I'm capable of like recognizing that a show is not amazing and there's flaws to it, but also remain interested and maybe even hopeful that something could change down the line. So, sorry about it. But people in general, like there's like one side that says like, oh, you don't want to change, and then there's another side that's like, you're just angry, bro. And like the truth is, like when it comes to my content, like I don't mind change when it comes to movies and TV shows. Like if it's a good change, like if it makes sense and it's well written, please do. Like I'm not against it. I'm not against like narrative shifts. These things can work, but like at its core, like it's like it's one thing here. Let me back up one step. It's one thing to go from like true horror in Alien to like action sci-fi in Aliens. And then to go from like, because that's sort of where the series held. It was kind of like sci-fi action, right? And then it's another thing to go from like sci-fi action to like drama. And if you're going to make that switch, or like just straight sci-fi, because if you're going to do that, like you need to, like there needs to be some serious changes, but it needs to be like compelling. It needs to make sense, right? And I think that they could do this here. I think that they could do it with characters like Wendy and Morrow. Like they're really good characters because they're like, and even Hermit to an extent. Like Hermit is like, he's human. Wendy is a synth, or she's a hybrid, and then you have Morrow, who is a cyborg. So you got like these 3 pieces to this like puzzle. So there could be something different here. But again, I think it would have served the series better to just remove like any alien attachment to the marketing and just like has like push it as like an original IP, and then like in the final 2 episodes reveal that, hey, like we're actually connected to Weyland-Yutani. Like, because you could have done a story about Prodigy and Prodigy City and like who these companies are, and you could have said like, oh, like this looks like a vessel from whatever, like this vessel looks familiar, but I don't know exactly what it is. Like there have been so much damage to it, but now we're stuck in this. This is the alien universe. We know what it is, and the expectation is to be one thing, but we got another. So I don't know. But I'm gonna have to end it there because I haven't even eaten breakfast yet. I'm gonna eat some breakfast and get my day going. I'm not doing a whole lot today, but I appreciate everyone hanging out. And again, I apologize. It was a very weird stream, and I understand that nobody could like hear what was going on, and I was paying attention more to the TikTok side of things, but that's just kind of where I am. But I'll keep doing the dual stuff if I can figure out how to like get the like TikTok integrated into this so you can hear, I will do it, but I'm just on limited resources at the moment. It'd be cool if I could, like, on TikTok, if I could say, oh, also stream to YouTube, but there is not that functionality. So, but I appreciate you guys. You guys have been awesome. It's good to be back. I'm going to be doing some stuff here and there, just like probably discussing movies in this show for now. But until then, y'all be good. We'll see you next time.
I like to put stuff online.